Good morning. It is October 31st. This is Bev. This is the Bev D Show. I'm your host, and I'm very excited. I have a great day ahead of me, so I think. Isn't that something we do? We think I got this and this and this and this planned, and then life happens and things change. So it's all good, but I do have a plan. So I got a good start with that. Having a plan. We get so busy though. I just wanted to leave a quick message. Yesterday, my show was all about thanking my friends and family and the people that are far and near that I'm friends with and connected with on Facebook, and thanked a few of them individually, and we had a lot of fun on that post. And when I shared it in Facebook, and it caught the actual post caused me to laugh and smile, and that's the beauty of Facebook, or connecting with people. And one of my dear friends, his name is Bob, and he had mentioned something about that he had always dreamed of, being a disc jockey, spinning records, playing music. And he does have amazing taste in music, and he, much like myself, we spent a lot of time, we grew up in the decades of truly amazing music. We were catching the spin-off of our parents or older brothers and sisters, at least I was, of the 50s, and my mom shared, as she was growing up, some of the music that was out there when she was growing up. I always look at those years. My dad passed away when I was 21, and I still lived at home until I was 23. And my mom and I really enjoyed those single years with my mom. We had a lot of special talks, and I learned a lot about her. And one of the things that would happen if I would go on a job interview, or I'd talk to her about the things that I wanted to do. This is all I ever wanted to do. I'm kind of living a dream. I wanted to be on the radio. I wanted to write stories. Which I'm doing and have done. I wanted to be a teacher of sorts, and I get to be a trainer in my, we'll call that big girl life. And so I never stopped. I never gave up, ever. Because even when I wasn't doing what I wanted or wasn't making it part of my life, I never stopped thinking about what would that look like. Tony Robbins in the early 80s, I've been listening to him, God, I can't believe that long, but he had said, a lot of people say they want a big house, or they want to go on vacation, or they want to do this or that for a living. So he started challenging people. Well, what does that look like? What does that day look like? What will you be doing? If you had your dream, okay, here's the subject. You have your dream, and this is what you want to do. What does your day look like? What are you going to do to get there? If it's a house and you have to save money to have it, how are you going to save that money? How are you going to acquire that money? Because even though it's a dream and it sounds fun and wonderful and all that comes with that, it's going to take work to get there. It's why they call it work. And you try and find something that you absolutely love to do, and you can make a living doing it. And if you're lucky, you'll get paid to do what your dream is. And I've never forgot that. I've never forgotten that. If I wanted to be married and have a family, what did my day look like? And I did get to live that dream. I was home raising my girls. We were married at the time, and I was married at the time, and got to, and it was a struggle. And I would work part-time jobs here and there, and it was there was frustration and things, and that's why they call it work. It's not always easy raising a family. And I came from a family, I was the youngest of 7. My dad was the sole, air quote, breadwinner that paid for the things that provided, but my mom was an amazing partner And I watched her all her life making our clothes. We had a garden so that we never ran out of food. I watched her how she shopped at the grocery store, how she cooked. She would cook, a roast on Sunday, and then it became vegetable soup the next couple of days. She was an amazing businesswoman. She ran that house very well. That complemented my dad's salary. And although it was crazy, and we might have all been wearing the shorts, different sizes out of the same fabric, we made it somehow. And all of us look back on that as great times that we were raised in this amazing family. So I look at that and I know that my mom, she probably had other aspirations and things that she may have wanted to do. And I know a couple of those. One was a painter, and she became a painter. I know that she got to get out once a year and work in the professional realm, and she would help out at the voting booths at school. It was right across the street where she would sit, and when they used to take ballots and count them, and she actually, I saw those ballots come into our house. It's really insane the way things used to be. But the point is that I know it was hard for her, but I know that, we sat and we talked about it, and that was, she wanted to be a housewife, and she did very well at it. And so whenever I would go on these job interviews or whatever, she would say, "Go, Bev, go, do that," And I would come in the house, and whether I had gotten the job or not, she's like, "You look beautiful. If it's not this job, it'll be another one. What do you really want to do?" She just kept saying that to me. And so this was, again, in my early 20s. And when my friend said that that's what he wanted to do, I kind of wanted to dedicate this to everybody, that if there's something that you want to do, find a way to do it. Figure out what that looks like. My very dear friend Brenda sent me a handmade crafted Halloween card. I got it in the snail mail yesterday, and it really touched my heart, because somebody made something for me. And when I thanked her for it, she said, "That's my happy place." And everybody should have one. And even when I talk about the time when I was very dark and sad and depressed and things weren't going quite the way I wanted, I continued to write. And I would write anything. I would write poems. I would write sentences. I would write thoughts, goals. I went through boxes of paper early 2017 because I'm a writer, and I suppose I deserve to be on one of those hoarding shows where I hoard paper. But I started looking through, and I had countless business plans of how many times I wrote what this would look like. I just couldn't get things going and off the ground, but I never stopped dreaming. And you have to be able to know that you're going to be putting a lot of time into it, and you might not be making money. You might not be making the money you want to make. But if you're doing what your dream is, or even working toward it, there's no feeling like that. None. So if you're out there in the professional business world and you're working your ass off doing something other than your dream, find a way to squeeze your dream or your visions into your evening or your weekend. And to me, there's no adrenaline, there's no high, there's no anything that equates to that once you've done it. So I just wanted to put this out there. BobbyK, you're a very talented guy. We've seen what you can do with lighting, and you got a great voice. You got a face for radio. No, sir, you really do have a very good-looking mug. I'm just teasing you. But we used to, that was a very, very funny joke for the longest time, as my mother said I had a face for radio. And whatever happens with this show, it sure feels damn good doing it, getting emails, getting responses, that I know that somebody listened, because that's what you want. If even only one listener, that's great. I'm living the dream. And it's not always easy. I don't want people to think, bad things happen every day, whether it's scary traffic jams and I'm afraid somebody's going to hit me right in the rear end on 77 because people don't pay attention. There's so many people still texting. Good Lord. And I see them looking down as they're about to hit me, and it's scary and it's upsetting. And, I have high blood pressure and I have to take medication for that. And I got a really big scare earlier in the year. And finances. It's not like everything is perfect, but in between all of the negative or the forces that want to challenge me, I know that I'm at least giving it a go. I'm trying it out, and I'm really happy to be saying that I'm trying that. I always told my girls, at least try. And my dad told me, if I came home with a bad grade on my report card, he taught me this. He passed away so early. He could have, there was so much more he had to give. He was such a wise man. But he would sit there and he would make me look him in the eyes, and he would make me say, "Did you try your hardest?" And I would look at him, and at the risk of lying, I had to say no. And he goes, "If you get a bad grade and you told me you tried your hardest, that's all that matters." But he said, "I don't want you coming to this table with this report card telling me you tried your hardest and you didn't and you got a bad grade." So that's what I want to leave for you. Don't give up on your dream. Don't stop trying. Just keep trying, and if you're failing or something goes wrong, at least you're in the middle of trying. I said it yesterday. We nobody gets out alive. Nobody. So what if you aren't trying the hardest for God or your Father or whatever spiritual being or the universe, and there's something that we could enjoy from you? There's something that you could help someone. So give it a go. All right? So I leave you with that. Got a big day. Got a big old brunch at work. A lot of food, a lot of jokes. Some people are dressing up. I am not. I'm going to dress up as Bev. And whatever that looks like. But thanks for listening, guys. And remember, if it's for the good of others or you, do it anyways. You're afraid to do it anyways. We call that courage. And if you're out there and you're lonely and you're feeling all sad about yourself and nobody loves you, I do. This is Bev. This is the Bev D Show. It's October 31st. Have a wonderful day. Bye. See you later.